18-month resub. Guys, it is time for us to look at the grand finals of WCS Fall. Now, this is a series some of you might not have seen, but I'm going to be kind of going through and we will cast it. We'll still watch the games at normal time, but there's going to be a lot of rewinding, and I have a few thoughts of different things I want to look at. I'm going to be examining the Nidus Worm play, which Serral uses a few times in this series, and check out how he does that. We're also going to be looking at a very interesting game one. This is a weird game one. For those of you who didn't watch live, yeah, strap yourselves in, because this was a really crazy game one. I wasn't casting it, and at a few points I had to walk away from watching it for various reasons to get some shit sorted. So I'm happy to kind of watch it now with a closer eye for detail and see if I missed anything, as well as break down the ridiculousness that happened in this game. So up here in the top left in the red, Serral. Well, I believe it dropped 1 or 2. Had he dropped any maps? I don't know if he dropped any maps up to this point. Maybe 1. He dropped... Did he drop any maps? I don't think he might not have dropped any maps until this grand finals. Down here in the bottom right, in the blue, it's Reynor. Yeah, he actually didn't drop any maps, because Hero Marine should have beaten Serral in 1 or 2 games. He didn't. Whoa, 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 whoa. What just happened there? What just happened there? Hold on a second. Sorry guys, a quick rewind. Not sure why my rewind key isn't working. Give us a sec. Let me we've had to log out, so it's not it's not giving us our back button, unfortunately. We'll just reset that. Sure, obs. That's not working. So anyway, he accidentally built an Evo chamber, cancelled it, and then built a spawning pool. I did not see this live. That's hilarious. He misclicked. So he's just lost a bunch of minerals there for no reason. I think it was Scarlet. Was it Scarlet who did that against a Muslim in her first ever tournament? And then he let her regame and she smashed him? I think... I remember this was like 2011 IPL. I think that was it. Yeah. He was like, ha! Yeah, she like said in chat, like, oh fuck, I built an Evo chamber. Like, no, didn't notice, because they look the same. So sometimes you don't notice till it finishes, and that's when you're really screwed. You cancel it straight away, it's okay. Anyway. Mirrored openings, slight mineral advantage here for Reynor. Double Queen goes down. Couple Zerglings on the way for Serral. He's gonna go for a scout. No scout for Reynor, just drones. Just drones. Wants to be as greedy as possible. We see link speed starting up a few seconds earlier here, and 1 worker pulled off gas for Serral. Meanwhile, Reynor also starts link speed about 4 seconds later, and also pulls 1 worker off gas. Keep an eye on these gases. Let's see what they do. Serral's Ovi goes in, has a bit of a perv, sees the drone heading over to the third. Reynor, I think, also saw the drone heading to the third, but we'll verify with the second Overlord anyway. So both of them doing very standard Ling Bane openings. Third base is both starting right on 30 supply behind that. Drone. Both players just droning up hard. Queen and a couple Zerglings coming out. Serral's 2 Lings coming down here, ready to try to do a scout a little bit later. Baneling Nest. You can see here, Reynor wants to set up a wall off at the front, as does Serral. Neither of them going to create the little choke point to plug the Queen in. I think at their level of play, people are so good at just running around and just focusing down the drones, it doesn't help that much. They prefer to have the wall off to help against any crazy Ling floods. Still 2 on gas here. Third worker just got put back on gas for Reynor. We've got Zerglings on the way here for Serral. So Serral's going to be going for that. And, see how it goes. It's not a crazy number. I mean, where are Reynor's Zerglings right now? He doesn't have any Zerglings at home? Oh, you greedy little shit. Reynor, what are you doing, man? Okay, so he tries to buy time with these 2 Lings running in. Serral over-respects it, actually turns his Lings around for a few seconds. He is going to get 2 Banelings out, but was a little bit greedy on that. And of course, Serral will find these Lings, trying to hide in the corner to morph into sneaky Banes. Both players scouting each other. Fast Evos for both sides. Good trap on that. So the thing is, you can see that Reynor's he's already up 2 workers. He's trying to get every little edge he can. This is what people do against Serral. They try to play a little bit greedy. But if he committed to just like a real hard, like, hey, let's build 20 Lings and go, somehow had 2 Lings hidden on the map, which is quite possible, Maybe Reynor really knew there weren't 2 Lings on his side of the map. Maybe he knew there couldn't be forward Banelings, so he felt like he had the time, but it's a risky proposition, man. Serral now droning a little bit harder, adding the gases just a little bit later, the Roach Warren a little bit later, both players starting up their lair. It's a real gentleman's agreement here, just kind of like, hey, I won't attack you if you don't attack me. But now we finally see a divergence with +1 melee coming down for Reynor. Reynor is going to do that. Serral here is like, hey, what's up? Check your drone count. So notice Serral doesn't want to go too far ahead of his opponent's workers. If he sees no more workers coming out, then he's going to have to stop droning and swap into unit production to stay safe against a potential attack. But both of them doing this, and this is what happens when people play Zerg vs Zerg correctly. They're constantly scouting either with an Overseer, an Overlord poking in, or Zerglings to say, hey, are you droning that third? Because if you're not, and if you're not taking the gases, that means you must be committing to lots of roaches. Lots of fighting units, right? But as it is, both players have scouted. They're both just macroing up and confirming, yeah, he's still macroing, cool, I can keep macroing. And they're both kind of doing that to each other. Spire now goes down here for Reynor. OV speed on the way for Serral. Now, obviously the big thing running through Serral's head when he's playing as Reynor is, how do I stop mutaplay? How do I stop upgraded Zergling mutaplay? Which is, of course, Reynor's historical bread and butter at beating Serral. In their more recent matches before this match, though, definitely not something he'd been using as much. He'd been doing a lot more straight up roach play. So because of that flexibility, I mean, the last time Reynor beat him, it was Serral overcommitting to quite a few roach attacks, and Reynor just playing good defensive roach and actually being the defender for once and playing very nicely. So good to see there. Ling Bane coming forward there. Oof, Reynor gonna have a little bit of a pokey poke. The roaches are like, no, naughty. And at this point, you're seeing so many Zerglings coming out, you know what you're up against as Serral. Not to mention the Overseer just spotted it, and he's dropped his own Spire. Now, I was talking to Serral post-event. He said, look, you can go your own Spire to fight this, and he's going to go Corruptors. Spoilerinos for you guys who haven't seen the match. He said, when I talked to him about this, you have to see their Spire before it's halfway done. If it's past halfway done, your own Spire, your own Corruptors are probably going to be a little bit too late, and it's just a bit too hard to catch up on it because they're going to get in there and do some worker damage and that sort of stuff. So this is kind of the edge of that, where his Spire is still about 25 seconds from done and the mutas are almost out. So definitely a bit of a situation. The Banelings here going to do a good little defense. Only 3 Lings going to slide in, and they're trying to, of course, check, and he sees, yep, you did commit to the mutas. Mutas are on the way, building a lot of queens. He's already got a good squad of Roach Bane out, but he needs those Corruptors as quickly as possible. Doesn't really have creep between his bases. And he's going to send 2 Overseers around the edge, so he's going to go contaminate some shit. Nice. Speed Overseer is not going to be able to get caught. 8 Corruptors starting up here. The Zerglings would love to find a way in, but Serral's doing a real good job at deflecting this so far. Muta's going to come. They're like, all right, we'll just pick off some roaches. They're a little bit far forward. Just find what we can. +1 attack, +2 melee on the way. +2 melee Lings are insane. Ooh, he actually clicks down the Banelings. There's 1 Baneling left there, though. 1 Baneling left. If you can get rid of all the Banelings, the Ling's ability to just YOLO in, charge into this fight becomes really good. Real quick, guys, sorry. We're going to change the hotkeys back because we keep zooming in and it's a real pain in the ass. So let me go to the other standard setup, I think. How do we, or I can just turn off the zoom. How do we disable the zoom in and out? There we go, found it. All right, here we go. Back into game. Let's go. Those 2 Overseers are going to come in. They can contaminate some shit. Corruptors are going to be out in a sec, but that's a lot of mutas, guys. 16 mutas. There are 10 Corruptors out. They do not have an armor upgrade just yet. But yeah, if you get armor upgrades on those, and if you get armor upgrades on your roaches, mutas do not do a lot of damage. They're very bounce oriented. So it's going to be contamination on the production. Roaches in the middle of the map. The Ling's going to take a pretty good fight though. +2 melee is done. And those Lings, I think they're going to wreck that first clump of roaches pretty hard. Yeah, Serral's first clump of roaches gets ravaged. Corruptors finding the mutas in the middle of the map. The problem here is the Corruptors, even if they don't beat the mutas, they occupy them long enough. A few roaches actually get saved by the Ravager morph. Oh, good focus fire. Gets him. Nicely done. Does lose a Mutalisk. Will he lose a second for that? He does. Good micro by Serral, just scooting, shooting very nicely. These Corruptors, so much more agile than they used to be. many years ago in Wings of Liberty. They used to be very slow. You couldn't really move and shoot very nicely with them. But look at that nice focus fire from Serral. And he's got that. Okay, he's just lost a Corruptor. He can't one-shot the Mutas anymore. So they do lose a lot of efficiency. But you know what? The Roaches are getting into the base. Queen's going down. Drones evacuating. Reynor scrambling right now, trying to deal with this Roach Corruptor push. Such a meaty army. And even though Reynor wins the flyer war, look at this. The Corruptors are like, oi, fight us, fight us, fight us. We're distracting, we're distracting, we're distracting. Lots of drones falling down. That Queen distracting as the drones keep trying to evade these units. So the Roaches trying to hunt them down. The Muta's finally getting on top of that. These drones, if they all go down, that's when Reynor's in trouble. But he keeps running them out. Reynor, he's just running the drones between his bases, trying to escape. And right now, these Roaches going to the main. They're going to get cleaned up. Zerglings deal with that very nicely. Roaches up here. The Spine's going to deal with that. And this Muta count has grown right now. Reynor's down 30 supply, but it's mostly Roach supply. He's still kept 57 drones up, which is insane. And the Queen's around here, but where's the Corruptors? Oh no! He's only got Queens on his own. I don't think that's enough, guys. Yeah, I mean, once again, they distract, but a lot of them go down, and he's got a few Roaches on the north going up, but yeah, those Queens are going to fall. So whilst the Mutas are distracted by the Queens, the Roaches are like, run in, run in, run in, run in. Is it going to work though? I'm not sure. Those Roaches need to get on those drones. He's going to micro onto them now, start focusing them down at the same time, running into the main base. Queens coming forward, trying to just buy whatever time they can, transfusing anything. And lots of work is starting to fall here. The Spire goes down as well, which means, of course, no more Mutalisks in the production tab. We do have Corruptors now being built by Serral. He says, you know what? Got rid of your Spire. If I can get enough Corruptors to deal with this, that's going to be great. He's going to try and focus down a few more workers here. Remember, these are +2 Roaches, so they can, of course, two-shot those drones. And at the end of the day, it's 36 workers that have been slayed. Serral does need to pull a few of these Overlords back to safety. Doesn't want to leave too many of those out in the open. And he's up to a 4th. If he can keep that 4th alive, that'll be great. The Mutas, though, finding it. Gonna grab that building spore. The Corruptor count's not ready yet. This might be a little bit preemptive from Serral to be engaging. Remember, he does not have any attack upgrades or armor upgrades. The Corruptors, okay, that Spore Crawler actually added some sick damage. The Lings are getting on top of the Queens. Another Spore Crawler here, but finally that Spore on that side does go down. The Corruptor's dancing. Reynor is down on the economy. He's got to stop this 4th getting up. Loses another Muta. Remember, these Corruptors have superior range, so they can kind of kite the Mutas a little bit. The Mutas really have to commit to getting on top of them and moving and shooting themselves, or the Corruptors can kind of pick off a Muta, run away. Pick off a Corruptor, run away. And with no attack upgrades, it's 14 damage a shot, so I don't know what 121 divided by 14 is. If someone could do that maths, let me know in chat how many Corruptors it is. Because it's 121, because 120 hit points plus Zerg units instantly regen. So unless you actually sync up every projectile to hit at the exact same moment, you always add 1 hit point when calculating how much it takes to kill a Zerg unit. So you count a Zergling as having 36, a Roach as having 146 hit points, always add 1 hit point. People are saying that's 9. It's 9 Corruptors is the magic number to one-shot Mutas. Meanwhile, Mutas, of course, even with +1 in this scenario, they're doing 8 damage a shot against the +2 armor of the Corruptors. And that's a 200 hit point unit. So what's 201 divided by 8? If you guys could tell me just that one. 201 divided by 8, let me know. Uh-oh, good Zergling run by here. Just when I thought Serral's economy was like looking really good, but oh, he's gonna get that. He's gonna get it. Nicely done there. Reynor gets the snipe for a handful of Lings. Well worth it. Corruptors are here though. 19 Mutas up against 90 Corruptors. People saying it takes 26 Mutalisk shots to kill a Corruptor. Now remember, they do attack faster, so you know, that's a little bit deceptive. They do attack about 30% faster. That's a very rough, about 25-30% faster. But nonetheless, the Mutas, of course, more agile, able to attack up and down. But right now, the Corruptors just massacring the Overlords. They're like, dude, if you don't turn and fight me, I will just take out all of your Overlords. The Corruptors doing well here. I think it's time to push your advantage, Serral. 18 Corruptors versus 22 Mutas. I think he wins this fight. He doesn't quite have +1 armor, so he's a little bit afraid of pushing in there, but there's no spores. And I really do feel this is Serral's moment to win this game, because Corruptors can just push on in here and fight this. Yeah, he's not focus firing as much. I don't think he's focus firing at all. Simply because the fight got messy. You've got a lot of different wounded units. You don't want to overkill too much. You've got like 20 Corruptors and you focus fire them all, you're actually wasting half of their attack. So a bit more of an attack move there. The Roaches get 4 workers. These Roaches up here though, that's where the damage might be done. The Mutas managed to overwhelm that with Defender's advantage. You can see there 5 Corruptors, 14, 15, 17 Mutas. in that unit count, and another 11 workers fall. But guys, +2 melee Zerglings are insane. They are getting 2-shot by the roaches, but the roaches are disappearing against this. +2 melee is just such a powerful boost to the Zerglings. It's insane. You get +1, they already become so strong. +2, and you give them surface area, and things are looking very bad for the opponent. 2 more Overseers still here. And Serral, once again, trying to rebuild Corruptors. Lurkers on the way here for Reynor. Ultimate anti-ground unit. Spore Crawler does take out 1 Mutalisk, but hey, well worth it. Gets a Spore, gets 5 workers, knocks out some mining time. Only 7 Corruptors there, not really enough to fight this. And the Roaches, they look to threaten through the middle of the map, so they kind of faked a push. It forced the Mutas to pull back, but what do you do here as Serral? It looks like Corruptors, followed by more Corruptors, followed by more Corruptors. Banelings, oh, they managed to get, oh, those are +2 Banelings. Holy shit, he just killed 14 drones. Blings ran in here and got a couple as well, I think. Oh my god, I was like, oh, that's not gonna kill anything. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Someone's saying Spire is down? Oh, did the Spire get rebuilt and then sniped again? Oh my, it did. When did that happen? I have no idea when that happened. I'll go back and look at that, guys. Thank you, Twitch chat. Like, I don't know when that died, but he's lost his Spire twice in this map. Roach is going to intercept those Zerglings again. Yeah, +2 Banelings, guys, one-shotting workers. So Serral's economy just took a big hit, but he's got +1 Carapace Corruptors. So remember, this is now 7 damage a shot from those Mutas, guys. So how many shots does it take now? 201 divided by 7. It was 26 attacks before. Let me know how many it is now. Because there's no +2 flyer attack for Reynor. Those Roaches not going to... Okay, they're pulling back. Hydras are there. Ooh, that's a lot of Hydras. Obviously, more than enough to deal with those Corruptors. Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. Serral. Okay, Serral now, I mean, he's got the Corruptor advantage. His Roach is still trying to run in from multiple sides. Uh-oh, those Roaches fighting on their own. No. Roach is really good against Hydralisks. But oh no, the backstab gets cleaned up by the Mutas. These ones go down. Zerglings are into the main and the third at the same time. And oh, Reynor just took Serral to Dicktown. Serral thought he was the one who was pushing his opponent up against the wall. Reynor just defending on multiple fronts and then just, oh god, stabbing in the back. In the rear with the gear. Has a new meaning there. Those Zerglings just ravaged him, man. That hatchery goes down, one of the most important hatches. Corruptors hunting down the Mutalisks here. Roach is trying to deal with these Zerglings. We've got Lurker Hydra coming across the map. Oh crap. Serral's about to lose his economy. All right, he's going to pee on that base, but oh no, he breaks the pee. And he used all the Corruptors. He actually needs to piss on every single hatch right now, but he just wasted all of the Corruptor piss on those 2 hatches. And because of that, there's a solid minute until he can use it again. I don't know, it's like 30-second cooldown, something like that. It will be ready again soon, but for now, desperately trying to hang on. Lurkers are trying to push up here. Okay, Serral's defending real well though. He's got an Overseer. Few Queens do go forward. The Corruptors here trying to catch the Mutas, but the Mutas doing a great job of evading them. Reynor, he's got a single Zergling there with 6 kills. These Mutas, oh, they're like, hey, let's get rid of your anti-air, let's get rid of your detection. The Corruptors being forced back. Some Roaches are going in, and they are going to do some damage, but Reynor's been mining this whole time. Evacuates his Hydra Lurker. His Muta's just picking off Overseer, gets a Ravager. Serral's trying to pick up Ravagers to keep them alive, but oh man, drones going down. The Corruptors finally get here, but these Mutas of Reynor, they've done the magic. They've done the work. Good burrows to keep his workers alive. Those Roaches finally do get cleaned up. Right now, we're looking at a 57 drone economy for Reynor. He's still got multiple hatcheries alive, and these Corruptors are just going on the merry-go-round. He needs to split them up. He only needs a few to chase the Mutas, but he needs to go piss on these hatcheries. If he doesn't piss on his opponent right now, I mean, I get it, you know, you're a respectful player, you don't want to urinate on your opponent, but bring some of that super weird kind of WWE vibe, you know? Rather than a chair over their head, a piss on the hatchery. Just go to his house, piss on his doorstep. Come on, man. Please. Please. The Hydra Lurker, of course, is dangerous. Ooh, Roach Ravager gets some nice snipes. The Mutas finally going down. Well done by Serral there. Okay, that's a lot of valuable units. There's still Lings on his side of the map. He's got very little mining. He's got to be careful, but I do think he's got to start spraying down. Maybe the tech as well would actually be quite nice. The Roach Ravager up here, a single Lurker keeping that base safe. Oh, Reynor somehow keeping so much economy up in the midst of this. And he's just continuing to build Zerglings. Finally, we see Corruptors come down, but he's unleashed. No. They ramp up after 5 seconds of channeling. So you don't need that many. You just, even 8 or 10 would have killed that pretty quickly. I mean, it's not a bad move, but he's got to do more right now. Serral is not mining a lot. Meanwhile, it's only a matter of time till Reynor slides like 20 Zerglings or a Lurker across the map into Serral's only remaining mineral line, and we see it right now. Even though they're doing some damage, Zerglings trying to get in. Reynor's looking for an opening. The Corruptor's taking a lot of damage right now. Hydras with just +1 for Reynor, doing what they can. Do they have upgrades? There is no Hydra range, only Hydra movement speed. Hydra range kicks in, as I say, that Adaptive Talons is on the way, and yeah, upgraded Lurkers, lots of good shit. These Corruptors are getting pushed down a little bit. 3 Lurkers gonna try and protect this hatch. Oh no, Serral, I mean, he takes out 1 Lurker, but oh, he's gonna jump forward, realizing he's gotta be decisive and just go for it. And I mean, it was a good move by Serral, but oh, he doesn't notice the Lurker coming in from behind, and spikes in the back door. I mean, that's some prison shit right there. That's, ow. That's not meant for the outside world. Only in a dark, dark place filled with those who have no hope left should we see such terrors. And he's, oh no, he's gonna hide. You know what'd be cool is if Reynor attacked his own units to get the splash to kill those, but he's just gonna make an Overseer and send it over there. Serral doing another desperate backstab on the south. He's gonna pee on a hatchery once again. Unzips his fly and pisses all on one hatch. I'd love to see him split those pissing streams up just a little bit. Reynor scrambling to hang on. I'm amazed Reynor hasn't been able to do any counter damage. I guess there must be a squad of roaches at that base, but I really thought, okay, a few Lurkers gonna take out that base. Those roaches doing well. Lots of Overlords going down. Reynor's in supply block city. Ravages and roaches on the defense. You can see they're gonna come up and try to snipe that down, I believe, when Serral has the APM. Corruptor's doing the work, man. They're killing a lot of Overlords. The problem is, of course, that Reynor mines so much money despite being in a bad position. Nonetheless, the supply is very even right now. Problem is, the Roach Ravager force for Serral. 15 Roaches, 4 Ravages. Those Ravages, every single one is sacred. That's a lot of Lurkers. Oh, another big piss stream. Unzips and says, there you go, buddy. This is my territory now. Reynor's like, mate, we're not animals. We're not fucking dogs. Stop it. Stop it. Look at that dodge. Nice dodge from Reynor. And that's Serral's last mining base. Serral's gonna have to get those 2 mineral patches and just long distance mine from there. Looks like we are gonna see a base trade. Serral running the drones and Corruptor's just picking stuff off. Reynor hasn't been able to build anything for a long time. He's actually pretty low on minerals though. He's still got Lurker Spore up though. That's the problem. I mean, how do you win a base trade if your opponent's got Lurker Spore? Oh, he waits. He's like, I know you're gonna send the Lurkers home. Waits in the tall grass like a sneaky snake. And he sends some roaches into the economy, some Corruptors. Starts to finally spread his caustic spray all across the different buildings. Oh, once again, right through the site blocker. Beautiful play here, but I mean, look how fucking bullshit Adaptive Talon Lurkers are, guys. Can we get, actually, you know what? People were asking me what meta changes should we see. Let's give Terran the equivalent of Adaptive Talons on siege tanks, but also make them allowed to fly as well. Just so everybody can have the most frustrating ladder experience of their life. Adaptive Talon Lurkers are so good, man. So it's just, we don't get to see them that much because often it swaps into more of an air war by the time you get that tech up. But if it is still stuck on the ground, they're so flexible. Like, we've literally seen people like run Lurkers into point blank range with an army from 3 sides and just burrow on the enemy army and kill everything in one volley. It's insane how quickly they burrow and unburrow. I mean, Reynor, he's just hanging on with this Lurker here. This Lurker's doing an awesome job. He's got transfuses. No more transfuses. That Lurker, none of that Lurker's still doing damage though. Does Reynor have any drones out on the map? I don't think he does. Does he? Oh shit. Did Reynor actually lose all his drones? Is he gonna die? Oh, if he gets these Lurkers up, he's fine though. Oh, Serral wasn't able to stop those Lurkers. So yeah, with 4 Lurkers, there's no way you can't get through that. Meanwhile, Serral trying to hide his shit all over the map, but Reynor finding it. And he's gonna, yeah, I mean, these are the last, that's an extractor there. Okay, so Serral trying to set up another ambush, but Reynor's in like 5 different squads all over the map. Reynor's got overseers, like the Corruptors are trying to hunt them, trying to do something. Yeah, Serral's trying to do some good moves here. I like that. He keeps running forward after Biling because he knows the Lurkers are going to unburrow, so he's going to try and kill them with his own auto attacks. But, I mean, look at this. Reynor's coming in from 3 sides. I think that's the last extractor. No, there's one there. It's one of the last extractors. Oh, no! Oh, he's burrowed. Oh, he's penned in. He's penned in. Oh, penned in and cornered. Drones up there. We've still got spores and extractors. Still got tech in there, though. That is bleeding out. We'll see that in just a moment as it bleeds out. One of the last extractors. There's one there. That's going to go down. Let's extractor. Yeah, infestation pit does bleed down. That extractor's falling. He's trying to pee down some of Reynor's buildings, but this is the last one. Last one. Uh-oh. 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 And no GG. Ooh, someone call parting. Serral needs to get the double finger.
My man.
Needs to get the double finger. No GG. Yeah, people were like, oh my god, no GG. Forgetting that, of course, you don't have a chance to type GG because it pops up with the defeat screen before you can do that. But GG's. Good game there by Reynor. Great handling. Definitely, I think if Serral split up his caustic sprays a bit earlier, he could have probably shut down those bases, right? When he's paid all his Corruptors on one hatch, then he did it again, and then the Muters hit his mineral lines, and he pulled all of his Corruptors home, chasing the Muters for about 1.5 minutes. During that time, Reynor just went insane. Reynor was like, I've got 60 drones mining, and he was able to build so much stuff. Did some really nice backstabs as well. So really just impressive play. And yeah, very nicely done. GG. So the next map is World of Sleepers. Let's get that one open. All right. You want Parting to become an English GSL caster? Oh my god. I want to see Rapid and Parting cast GSL. Rapid's just spouting memes and Parting's just like, fuck you, no GG. He's like, is he drunk? They're like, yeah, he's definitely drunk. It's like, well, what did we expect? We got Parting to cast GSL in English. He's like literally fucking pouring soju on stream and shit. Yeah, I would watch that. I would actually get behind that. I'd be like, sorry, Tasteoses. You guys are old dogs. You can't compete with Parting. And there's like no interaction as well. Like Rapid's there and he's like such a pro, but he's like, and he's just spouting memes and Parting's just like, nah, fuck you. And like just shouting and shit. And then Parting's like, donate money so I can get a maid or something. And everyone's like, this is GSL. This is not your personal stream. He's like brought a little sign. And he's like, this is my donation link or something. You're like, what is happening? What is happening? All right, guys, taking game number 1. Action-packed and crazy game. Up here in the top right in the blue, it's Reynor. Down here in the bottom left, it's Serral. Thank you very much, Serious Misgivings, for the 30-month resub. I really appreciate the support, as well as B. Gorman with the 14-month. This hatch does go down there. Okay, so World of Sleepers, really big map. This is the map where we saw a laser mine through these minerals by bringing 6 drones across the map and Ling Flood through here. I've been doing it every game in ZVP on this map. My Protoss opponents have been very happy with it. They've often messaged me after the game telling me that I am an inspiration, that I play very fair, and that I definitely should live a long and happy, fulfilling life. So yeah, definitely a dirty all-in for ZVP. What do you guys think about doing that against Terran? With like a Ravager Ling? And like you're not just busting the front, you like just like run your whole army in from this angle if they've got like a really thick wall. They're like bunkers are here or something, you like just run up the main ramp. It'd be kind of funny actually. You'll notice there's no real high ground to put siege tanks on that covers the front on this map. So if a Terran's defending, their tanks are back here, they don't really cover up here. So even though this map has a long rush distance, the fact that there's no ramp here, there's no high ground advantage, and there's no secondary high ground to put tanks on, a lot of the time, like this, I guess a tank here kind of covers the natural, but like, you know, it's an emergency fallback tank, right? It doesn't help cover the front of the wall in, or like Ravagers can still stand there and bile your command center. So it's like well, you can survive by putting a tank back here, but it's not gonna actually secure your expansion, right? Anyways, World of Sleepers aside, we've got Ling Speed on the way from Reynor. He's completely pulled off gas. And no doubt we'll be going for a quick third hatchery there. Meanwhile, Serral pulling 2 off gas, not just the one from the previous game. So I wouldn't be surprised if Serral, if he doesn't put guys back on gas. Oh, no, he's rallying them back in. Okay, just another very standard quick third build from Serral. But he's putting back on gas a little bit earlier. Meanwhile, Reynor holding down the Zerglin key. 8 lings already, and he's already banking them. And he's mining down his back door. Okay. So he's going for a speedling all in. However, guys, this is a 10 mineral patch, and that's a 10 mineral patch. You need more than one drone working on this, or it takes too long. Don't know if Reynor just made this strategy up on the fly. Fake Evo chamber to pretend he's macroing. He's making it look like a gasless build here. So Serral's like, oh, 2 queens up the front, an Evo chamber. Actually, didn't even see the Evo. Oh no, and he's mining the wrong patch as well. Reynor, you need to do this with 2 drones. Reynor hadn't practiced this build. I think he just made it up. Yeah, he's so focused on selling the story. And now Serral's gonna go check, and he's gonna find him. The fuck? And he's gonna even see a missing mineral patch. Serral cam. We're on Serral cam. Does he look at the other Zerglin? Does he realize there's a mineral patch missing? Yeah, he realizes. Instantly, he's gonna go home. He's gonna wall off, and he's gonna make a Baneling nest and everything else that he needs. Meanwhile, Reynor's build is one of the most drunk things I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, Serral's like looking everywhere. He's like, wait. He's like, that's not even down yet. Serral's actually like, he's like, he's very confused right now because this build doesn't make any sense from Reynor. Because that's getting mined down so late. He's making his own +1 melee Bane nest, and he's like, oh yeah, you are going Ling speed? Cool, this is like a real all-in build. And now he's just flooding, and he's trying to flood out the back door at the same time. And like this Zergling sees it. Ooh, Reynor, this was a fail, man. It's one of the worst builds I've seen in a while, dude. After such an epic game 1, what a sad way to give up momentum in this series. I mean, this wall off's here, the Baneling nest is ready. Serral lets a few lings through, so he gets like a mad concave. Reynor is so good at that micro, it is unfair. His lings are the most bullshit lings I've ever seen in my life. Seriously, how did they push through that choke? It's fucking bullshit. That's what he did to Serral when they played in winter. Oh my god. And this time he has Banelings, so he's fine. He's got double the work account. But like, Serral was not meant to let those Zerglings in. He should have held position. So Serral got a bit greedy there. Something you've got to realize is if your opponent's really good at spam clicking their lings really fast, like, then they actually can push your lings out of the way. If your lings haven't settled in position, like if they're still kind of sliding a little bit when like they haven't fully stopped moving or they're not on hold position, your opponent can just shove them out of the way. It's this weird thing. I don't even understand how that mechanic fully works. We need to get printf to explain it. I used to do it a lot in Heart of the Swarm. I never do it in Legacy of the Void, so it's been years since I've tried to push people's lings out of the way. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like I said, he had so much warning. It was a terrible, terrible build. Let's go back to just that push through the wall first of all. So basically, yeah, Serral got a little bit greedy there. What happened was this. So Serral was like, right, and he could have easily just built another Evo chamber as well, right? He was like, that's fine. This is such a small choke. But now what happened was, because his lings accidentally had pushed through to the other side, he was like, oh, well, I don't want my lings to get surrounded there. But if he kept A moving, he would have lost a few lings on the surround and the other ones would have been fine. But because he pulls back to try to set up a concave here, you see, like just like this, swoop, swoop, like that. Because he tries to do that, his units are still going to be moving. And actually, Reynor already has got a Zergling through. Yeah, so he doesn't even get to close the concave there. And then, even though that ling dies, Reynor's going to be spam clicking. You can see here. Click, 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 A move, click, A move, click, A move, click, A move. So what he was doing, he was right-clicking, then A moving, right-clicking, then A moving. So his lings would hit, and then he'd try to move through, hit, and try to... So he was trying to basically say, if I kill a ling on the edge, I'll immediately push through and kind of get on that flank. And he kind of squishes his way through there. Moving units also take up less space, people are saying. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, he gets in, but this was just such a terrible build order. This made no sense. Okay. If your opponent puts the Overlord there, which I think is what Serral was going to do. Yeah, Serral was going to go for another one. Then yeah, you can mine that down. But you need to mine it down with 2 workers, and you need to be getting across this map faster. So, I mean, you're still going to make ling speed at a normal time, right? Which means 3 minute 30 ling speed, essentially. It's going to kick in. About 3:30, 3:24, 3:25 in this case. Very, very tight opening. The problem for Reynor here is, yeah, it's like, you got to mine that down, dude. You got to mine it down now. Like, you should have a second drone and then immediately put it on that same mineral patch. And then you micro this one onto that mineral patch and the second one onto that mineral patch once it's done. But if you wait, yeah, because the thing is, he should be trying to flood out very soon. And he accidentally mines the wrong patch, which is just really bad. And then he stops because he knows there's a ling heading that way, and he's like, fuck, I don't want to give away what I'm doing. But it's like, Serral checked for it, dude. If you go for this build, you can't stop committing to that. You need to go across when ling speed finishes. So he should have already flooded out the moment ling speed finished. You can't fuck around anymore. He's trying to get Serral to make sure, like, Serral's just being greedy, and Serral was being greedy, guys. Ling speed, no Bane Nest, straight into +1 range and a third hatch. Non-stop drones. So the thing is, if he at this moment, 5 seconds from now, flooded out, right? If he just goes cancel, cancel, floods out with his lings, there's a chance he wins this. But look at how much time he wastes trying to be fancy. The thing is, the moment your opponent has the presence to send a ling up there, they can tell you've mined a mineral patch. They already know you're up to some bullshit, right? Like, Serral already, he just looked at that, and this he literally just microed this. I want to show you guys, just in case you think I'm making this up. Sometimes people think I'm making shit up. They're like, oh, you didn't really know. We're on Serral's camera. Watch this. That Zergling goes there, he clicks on the minerals, he goes back and immediately drops a Baneling Nest and gets most of a wall off ready, as well as +1 Evo chamber. Immediate Baneling Nest, realizing there could be a crazy ling flood coming out. He's checking around. He's like, fuck, is there anything sneaky that's got to my side of the map? Are there Banelings morphing? Like, what is this? He's like, those Evos and Roach Warren are finishing, so he's a bit confused. So he builds more drones here because he's like, well, maybe he is just macroing and he was planning to take a third. That's exactly what he's thinking. Otherwise, there's no reason for those drones. He's like, oh, maybe he just wants to get a third off this gasless build. Okay, maybe that makes sense. Maybe. The moment he sees ling speed, he's like, nope, 8 more Zerglings, and he's just going to build lings, wall off as quickly as possible. We'll go back to Serral's camera. Yeah, he comes up there. He's like, oh, yeah. He's flooding out the back. Okay. Queen to the front, drones to the front. Go. Wall off. He's realizing, like, fuck. This could actually go pretty damn wrong, man. So he does manage to get the wall off up just barely. He's a little slow to pull extra drones, but does manage to get it. Another thing he could have done is he could have morphed Banelings up here, and Banelings actually form a pretty sick wall because they have a solid 50 hit points, 10 Zergling hits to take them out. But bad build from Reynor. He should have committed the moment ling speed finished. I like the idea. If your opponent doesn't check up there, cool. But he checked. Reynor was like, oh, I'm not doing it. And I was like, no, man. I understand. It's a gamble, right? And you were doing a gamble no matter what. In hindsight, I get to say this from the sidelines, but if you're wasting that much time on a Zergling all-in, it just is like, ugh. Chappie says, how much can we tell from no +1 on the Evo? Nothing at all, Chappie, because he could easily just fake the +1, right? People don't always start the +1 like immediately when that Evo goes down. That is definitely a good point though. Something I didn't mention there. I don't know, because people can. In that case, I guess he was so all in because he did fully pull off gas, so he couldn't even fake the upgrade. So that is a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, I think it's like a piece. It's a piece of the puzzle. Serral definitely saw that on top of the minerals going down as well. But yeah, you can't waste that much time with a Zergling all in like Reynor did. I mean, it can definitely work, but yeah, it was a little bit. It took a bit too long to get that one going. All right, guys. Looks like it is now tied up 1-1 apiece going into map number 3. It's going to be Thunderbird. Up here in the top left, it's Reynor, who unfortunately lost his peripherals on the way to this tournament. Had to play with new ones. I think it was hopefully the exact same mouse and keyboard, just, you know, not the same ones that he's kind of worn in. So it should have been fine. Down here in the bottom right, in the red, it's Serral. Yeah, apparently Reynor like just left his backpack in an airport. People are like, he's like, oh, I lost all my peripherals. Oh no. And everyone's like, dude, what the fuck? That's a rookie move. Why did you have your peripherals in your check-in? What the hell? And he's like, no, they're in my backpack. I left them in an airport on a seat. And we're like, oh, that sucks. Typical kid, says Arjun. Thank God there's a kappa there, dude. I know. Oh God, Reynor's being a cheeky boy. 3 hatch before pool. This is an awesome build. I love this build. Or it could be hatch, pool, hatch, but we'll see how it plays. Yeah. I love it. We're like, oh, fucking kid. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. Most adults I've met, myself included, don't have any idea what the shit they're doing 80% of the time. They're just like, I'm an adult. Fuck you, kids. And you're like, actually, I've just learned to pretend I know what I'm doing. It's like the only difference usually between an adult and a child is like the adult pretends he knows what the fuck's going on, whilst the kid's like innocent enough to like be like, oh, how does that work? How does that work? Oh, what's up? I don't know what's happening here. The adult's like, I know everything. I have a large brain. I don't need to learn any new things. I'm done with learning for my entire life. I like it. So this is a hatch on the 3rd, a pool, and then another hatch. Now, when you see this as Serral, you're gonna be like, whoa, that's a late hatchery. That's even too late to be a pool first opening. So, if this was any other map, I would say Serral would freak out and go, what the fuck is this? He's just doing an overlord. But on this map, I think he's just like, he'll just like float the overlord over there. He's like, it's so common for people to do a gasless 3 hatch opening on this map. Whenever I play TLO, he always does this opening on this map. A few other players. So let's go to Serral's camera. Serral just like pulls the overlord back. No, he does drop a spine. A little bit of panic. He knows he's playing Reynor. And he knows Reynor's a cheesy boy. Immediately spreads his 2 Zerglings. Cancels the spine. Is like, nah. If there aren't Lings running out here, he's like, nah, you're just going a 3 hatch. And then he just goes and sends the drone to the 3rd. So Reynor's opening is both greedy and gets Serral to waste 25 minerals there by building a spine and then canceling it. No biggie. Sees the creep with his other overlord and he's like, yeah, we're fine. So Serral's fine. No gases just yet for Reynor. He's probably going to wait till about 45 supply, I would imagine, about 3 minutes 30. And then he'll go double gas and just wall off the front with Evos and Roach Horns as needed. Queen and 2 slow Zerglings are here. Doesn't want to let the Zerglings of Serral in his base. They can be really annoying. But yeah, Serral's gone 6 Lings as well. So he did build a few more Lings than he normally would. He's even making a Baneling there. Playing so safe here as Serral. He's gone very early 3rd Queen. Oh my God, he's down 6 workers though. This is actually working out very well for Reynor. But the Lings can run in with Ling speed. There's no way you can get a wall off in time. If those Queens though, I mean, they should kill maybe 2 of these Zerglings on the way past. Ling speed's not quite ready. Serral going a little bit early with that. Ooh, takes a lot of Queen hits, but he does get in. And then you can be really annoying with this. Ooh, I would have loved, he wasn't watching. Otherwise he would have grabbed one of those drones and got the kill. But he was not watching. Slight bit of inattention, of course. Serral here just queuing these units up. He knows keeping them alive and keeping the scouting going is the more important thing to do. And Reynor, very worried about a Ling flood coming in, didn't pull his Queens away from the wall. He was worried about other Zerglings coming. Nice play here by Serral. Nice play. Serral's just holding down the drone key behind this, and he's caught up in drones. He's actually ahead 4 workers right now, and is going for his own Evo chamber. And it looks like it's just going to be Roach Tech versus Roach Tech. I still think it's a good position for Reynor. Like, maybe not good, but like completely fine, you know? As long as he doesn't lose too many more drones. Another one goes down. A little bit slow on the pullbacks. Like, these drones he could have pulled into the pocket to limit the Zergling surface area there. And he'd probably still lose it, but he'd kill a few more of the Zerglings. You can also, so what you do is, if this drone gets targeted, you click it on that mineral patch and it goes into the pocket, and you can aim move your other drones and they'll guard it. And if your opponent wants to commit, he's going to lose every Zergling to get that drone. And if you micro it just right, he can't even get it. So Reynor, obviously, kind of getting caught out a couple times. The Zerglings focus a drone right when he's looking at another hatchery, right when he's macroing somewhere else. Finally, those Zerglings do go down. We've got OV speed on the way for Serral. 52 drones versus 51 drones, 11 drones on the way. Serral being a greedy boy. Gonna go right up to 60 plus workers, and is even gonna take a 4th hatch. A very nice economic build up here. Yeah, and just a good small little worker advantage. Now, Ling speed's on the way for Reynor. That made no sense. Cancels it. He might have had that to show it to the Zerglings that were in his base. Definitely no reason to have Ling speed in this game. Reynor is going +1 range. It's quite delayed though. He's building a 3rd Evo just to wall off. So Reynor, I think, feeling a little bit insecure here. And you can see he's up against a 67 drone, 6 gas Serral, who's got his lair up. He's got his roach speed, his +1, his 2nd Evo, getting ready for the 2-1 timing attack. Reynor only now catching up and hitting that worker count. So he's about 40 seconds behind on the workers. He's got a lot of queens out, 4 queens. Good bit of energy across him. He's not really behind in the roaches. He drops a Spire here. Now, that's what we call a no-reason Spire. The Overseer came in, he dropped it right after the Overseer flew over. On this map, when you're up against a 4-base player who's already got 70 workers, mutas aren't going to do anything for now, but you can start upgrades and you can prepare a muta swap for later. It's very important to prepare it for later. But opening mutas would be kind of worthless because your opponent's already got, like, look at this vision of Serral. Like, he sees everything, right? You look at Serral's map vision, there's no way you're surprising him. He's going to see the mutas coming. And he's got so many workers, he can just build queens, build spores, and just continue macroing, and he'll be completely fine. So, definitely something where doesn't want to commit to that. Did the Overseer see that? Oh, I remember this is the game I was talking to Serral about. So he actually spots the Spire. He didn't see it because there are a few Overlords on it. So, yeah, so he was actually, I was talking to him the day after, and he was like, oh yeah, I saw the Spire, but I didn't see it. So he was telling me, he's like, yeah, there was a few Overlords on it, so he looked at it only when he was flying over it, and he somehow didn't notice it. Like, if your screen's like there or something, it's just a bit easy to miss, right? So he had no idea these mutas were on the way, which is kind of funny. And then he goes back over, maybe he sees it this time? I'm not sure if he even sees it that time. There we go, so now he starts up the spores and the hydras. So he very well might have gone for the Corruptor style again, if he had noticed the Spire the first time. But instead now he's like, oh shit, build spores, drops a Hydra Den. And the thing is, I mean, mutas still aren't really a threat. It's like 7 mutas, like I said, I mean, what? Even if they blindsided him and got a bunch of worker kills, like, it wouldn't really be very effective. We're looking at Reynor behind this is gonna go 80 workers, Hydra Den, Infestation Pit. Holy greed. Oh man, Reynor puts on a black and white striped suit. He's got one of those little black masks over his eyes. He's the Thunderbird greed burglar at this point. He's like, yeah, he's building more mutas right now, interestingly enough. He's gone up to 9 mutalists. Picks off a few drones, so he does find some edges here. 4 workers here, 4 workers there. He's going straight into Hydras. Before, okay, no, he does have a pack of roaches, but straight into Hydras. He wants to make lurkers as soon as that lurker den's done. But he doesn't actually have Hydra upgrades yet. So building 13 Hydras right now with no upgrades even on the way is a massive mistake by Reynor. He's trying to be so greedy. Hydras are on the way for Serral. He's going to his own lurker game plan. He loses a few more workers to the mutas. Sorry, missed that one. That Overseer does go down. His muta's doing an awesome job of, like, finding little bits of value. But they're an expensive unit. It's not necessarily worth it. Oh no, roaches move out. He was gonna go for a backstab, but Serral just thrusts in, and these roaches, he's not microing them, Reynor. Oh my god, his lurker den's not quite done yet. It's 26 seconds from finishing. His army is mostly unupgraded Hydralist right now. It's 1-1 versus 2-1. Oh my god, the upgrade advantage for Serral. And we've got way too many workers, no upgrades, and a pack of unupgraded Hydralists. That's a shit army for Reynor there, and just a push from Serral. That's it. This was not a hard timing attack. This was not an all-in. He was going for his own hive, double upgrade, 4-base economy behind it. He just wasn't quite as greedy. And the Hamburglar, Reynor, gets slapped down. Ronald McDonald fucks his shit up, man. That was just greedy. Reynor's mutas didn't do that much. He went 80 drones. If he kept making Roach Ravager, he might hold there. He should not be building Hydras. Maybe build 4 or 5 Hydras when your Lurker Den's halfway done so you can immediately make Lurkers. But he's clearly trying to... he clearly just messed up and forgot the upgrades. You need Hydra range. Needs to kill his 3rd Evo chamber to open up his own wall so we can get behind the wall on the high ground, and he would have had a chance then. But yeah, a little bit sloppy there. A little bit sloppy. Can you do 2v2 for Icefire? Of course. 2v2, 3v3, 4v4. Absolutely. Guys, there is a new Icefire topic, of course, casting in 1 week. Announced it last week. Get on it. The challenge is... I just tried to type it in chat. Oops. Derp. Why is that not... Oh, my keyboard's unplugged. Ruffle. Never mind. Yeah, the challenge is stabby McStab stab. You're not allowed above 40 workers. Get stabbing, mates. Oh no, I just opened Thunderbird again. Misclick. Give me a sec, guys. We'll be back in just one moment. You don't know how to do something interesting with this Icy Fast Kingslayer? Attack. Attacking is always interesting. There is 1,000 things you can do, dude. Just play some aggressive games on the ladder and actually have some transitions planned out of whatever the initial opening is. And some of the games you'll just win, some of the games you'll just lose, but many of the games will go on and you'll have some back and forth, crazy, messy games. Yeah, just have a tech transition plan as opposed to I'm going to build 80 drones plan. You'd be surprised what you can do with 40 drones, dude. It's not a bad economy. All right, now leading 2-1, starting the comeback train and now asserting himself in the top left. It's Serral. 2 kind of easy wins, I would say. Serral's like really game 1. You could argue he was advantaged. He was ahead in that game, let it slip away. Game 2 and 3 though, his opponent Reynor has really let it slip away. He's throwing out his "don't cheese me" roach eyes. He's like, "Don't cheese me, bro." Is it the "don't cheese me"? It's got like very bright green eyes. I kind of feel like it's a "don't cheese me" roach. I'm not sure. I can't use them because I'm watching an old replay that's offline. Hurry. Serral throwing out the poo emoji and Reynor throwing out the baneling. So Reynor's saying, look, I'm going to do a roach bane. And Serral's like, oh, I'm going to poo on you. Which I guess means he's going to drop Overlord creep, which doesn't do anything in this matchup. Or maybe he's going to do like Contaminate or something like that. Contaminate or Nidus Worm are both kind of pooey things, right? I feel like the reason Contaminate takes so long is the Overseer needs to stay up all night drinking like way too much. And then it has to eat like 3 kebabs at 4 a.m. and then go get chicken and waffles. And then like wake up the next day, and the Contaminate is the result of that night. I feel like that's kind of what Contaminate is. It takes a while to build up the energy.
My man.
It's a pretty great ability. I do wish we saw more of it. For those of you, some of you might remember an old Icy Far. We call it the Flappy Najib build. Because a guy called Flappy Najib basically just made mass overseers and just kept contaminating his opponent's structures so they couldn't build. It was glorious. I love this fucking thing, by the way. Aw. Go back, Overlord. I want to see it dance. Username. Thank you very much for the 2-month resub, mate. 2 months is a long commitment. Indeed. I appreciate it, mate. Serral's pulled 2 off gas here. Reynor's link speed a little bit slower. Quite a bit slower. So Reynor wants to be defensive. Serral playing a little bit more traditional. 2 off gas, but you're going to notice this drone is rallied into the gas, and he's going to maybe even pull another drone off. Or he'll wait for that 3rd lava. 3rd hatch goes down. Let's see. Does he just click it on from there? Or... really curious. 4 lings pressuring for Serral. Just a little bit of light pressure on this 3rd. Reynor hasn't built any Zerglings and hasn't sent his queen over there. Reynor, what the fuck are you doing? I love you, Reynor, but please. Oh, fuckity. That's a cancel. There's no way you can save that. That's losing hit points too fast. That queen only now starting to waddle over there. He's building 8 lings, but it's too late. Oh my gosh. Reynor just not feeling confident in this grand finals at all. Oh, this is really not the level you'd expect from a finalist. And it's not the level we saw. He crushed his previous rounds. This is weird, man. That's a shitty opening there from Reynor. He's trying to be too greedy, you know? We're going to see a few banelings up here morphing. He's going to morph probably just 2, I think. I don't think he's going to morph more than 2. His Baneling Nest just started, Pig. You're looking at the wrong production tab. Baneling Nest Evo behind this. It is just going to be a light speedling pressure. Reynor trying to defend with Banelings. But that 3rd base now very exposed. He's got only now a creep tumor starting. Does he have a 3rd queen in the main? He does. But look at that. Lings on the 3rd, going to go for the snipe. At the same time, Lings run into the main. That 3rd hatch getting very low. He's already shift-clicked on the drones in the main. Lings a little bit slow to respond. Oh my god, 3 drones do go down now. Those Lings do fall, and the Banelings did keep the hatch alive. So that was not the disaster it could have been. But Serral droning behind this. He makes 1 safety Baneling to defend against a potential backstab. A 2nd one, +1 range, droning. Making a 2nd gas, he'll go for a 3rd gas and go up into Roach Tech from here. Meanwhile, Reynor +1 melee on the way. Looks like it's going to be Lingbane Mutaplay here, but with the third hatch going down, it really hurts this style. It's something which should never have happened. 2 Banelings go down for just 4 Zerglings. And not the best trade there for Reynor, but Reynor, of course, going to lure back here. Serral, what are you doing, buddy? Wow. He had a lot of time to react. Very slow response there from Serral. A bit uncharacteristic here, and that does give a bit of momentum. An opportunity presents itself for Reynor. Queen here, but the Baneling for Serral does come forward. Queen focus fire. Ooh, Baneling still gets a few dudes. That Baneling did not get a good hit. This one getting very low. Oh, the Baneling's very low right now. All the drones being evacuated. Only 2 drones did fall so far, but a Queen goes down as well, and Reynor getting this momentum going non-stop. Lingbane +1 melee, very far from finishing. I think Reynor needs to try to backstab up the natural ramp, but you can tell on the minimap, I'll show you in a second, that Reynor actually has it covered. Serral has it covered, sorry. Oh, he's just got transfused energy on both Queens. This is now unbreakable. No, he didn't have it covered. I thought that was a Baneling. It's a creep tumor pig. I saw it on the minimap, like he's got 1 Baneling waiting. I really feel like these Lings should have been trying to threaten to snake up there, force Serral to micro 2 areas at once. Otherwise, you're kind of coming in on too narrow an angle, and it's still just non-stop Lingbane. Finally, drones enter the production tab here for Reynor after about a minute and a half of just non-stop Zerglings and Banelings. But a Lair's coming out in the midst of this. More Queens are on the way. The Lingbane running into the third base. A few of these Banelings, oh, getting on top, but I mean, there's no big targets for them to hit. He does run by at the same time, but his Lings get cornered. Serral's Queen standing strong. Transfuse is a damned good ability. And Reynor's washed up against the rock that is Serral. He's going to go for a Roach Roar and follow up. 8 more drones in production. Reynor's really in a terrible spot right now, guys. But you know what? Serral has not gotten as far ahead as he normally does in this sort of scenario. So Reynor's going to keep looking at backstab. If he can find a little bit of damage, that'll be good. Serral needs to split Banelings there and defend the third at the same time. But a bit of counter pressure is going to be a nice way to get back in control of this match. Lair's up. Nidus Worm starts. Where's the upgrades and the Roach speed? He's not even going for them. I think Serral's like, screw it, let's just go for a big old Queen Roach attack. He knows this is a +1 melee style. And oh my god, that's a big Baneling hit. But what is the follow-up? Reynor goes Mutas off this style, guys. He sees a 4th hatch, he sees upgraded Lings, he knows it's Mutas. It's actually not, though. Reynor has gone for a Roach Warren. No, he is going Mutas. It's a safety / fake Roach Warren. He's not actually using that Roach Warren. Like, he's building a few Roaches, but he's not making +1 range, and he's droning really hard and taking a lot of gases and a fast 4th. None of which goes with the Roach tech. It all goes with the Muta tech. And Nidus Worm on the front here. I mean, Reynor has no idea. He's so busy dancing on the map. He hasn't been confirming the droning. He thinks this is filled with drones right now, but he's doing an NA ladder and not confirming it. And this is what happens if you don't check your opponent's work account. You're busy droning to 60+ workers, going for a Spire and +2 melee, and they're popping Roach Queen out at your third, and oh, it's gonna go up in the main as well. Reynor, you can't let that get up in your main. It's okay to lose this hatch. It is not okay to lose your main base. Oh, fuckity. Yeah, he did. He did. Reynor was actually kind of okay economically back in this game. Maybe could have made it happen, but I think he just pulled off the aggression a little bit too much. I think he needed to stay on the aggressive side of things and keep scouting, if not pressuring Serral. He had enough Lings, he had the upgrades to do it, but that big Baneling hit in the middle of the map from Serral, I think that was a big momentum shift, and oh no, a big Baneling catches that run by. He's not going to do any more damage there. Queen's on the high ground, as well as Roaches massacring that third base. It's effectively just this base and this base. So many drones falling there, and he's going to pop out of the Nidus. He's popping out. Where's he going to pop out? Over here. Seems like a bit of a walk away, but why not? He says, hey, I cleared out your main, no reason to stay here. Spine there, we can ignore it, and he's just going to push in here. So even though quite a few workers, you know, a couple workers went down on Serral's side, his economy was not that big. He doesn't have Roach speed. He's got +1 advantage up against no upgrades for Reynor's Roaches. He's got more Roaches, he's got the Queen count, he's got the Transfusers, and I mean, that was a shit show. Reynor's falling apart mentally in this series, guys. I really feel like this is unfortunate for Reynor, because he's played so good up to this point, and this finals is really just not what you would expect. Serral is playing well, he's playing decisively, he's shutting him down. Don't get me wrong, Serral's not making any mistakes. I was getting very excited by the energy of the crowd when I watched this live, and I was like, man, Serral's a god, and I was saying he's going to win BlizzCon, and I still think Serral's the favorite to BlizzCon, but I don't think Reynor has played this series properly after that first game, and I'm a little bit bummed for my boy Reynor, because I know he's not happy with these games. I know he's not happy with this. I hope he can stabilize in this game. Like, getting that hatch cancelled at the third, and then committing so much to the Lingbane pressure. I mean, it's good that it kind of equalized, but when you're playing that, you have to keep the aggression up. You have to keep scouting. A Nidus Worm counterattack when you're trying to go upgraded Ling Muta is so deadly. And now suddenly he finds himself one game from defeat. Down here in the bottom right-hand side in the blue, it's a Reynor. Map number 5 of the series. Hope we can get a map number 6 and 7. Up here in the top left, untested so far, Serral. Has only lost one map this entire tournament run. It was that first map to Reynor. Whew. So no shade on Reynor, guys. Just trying to look at these games as objectively as possible and look at it and say, there are unforced errors coming out at an alarming rate. You know, I really like that tennis term, right? It's like the idea of like hitting a winner as opposed to an unforced error where it's like you just fucked up, but you know, it wasn't really a super hard situation. Where like in these games, Serral hasn't had to hit winners, right? Because Reynor has just been making too many unforced errors. And it's a bit of a shame, that first game was so close and so well played by both sides, so I'd like to see another one of those. How much of it is unforced errors? How much is cutting corners, says Mulefish? Well, the thing is, it's bad cutting of corners. Like, he sees Lings walking across the map and he just doesn't build his own Lings on time. Like, it's literally, yeah, he's cut the corner by skipping the Lings at the start of that previous game, but then you see Lings coming, start your Zerglings. You're already got drones out ahead of your opponent, you're already ahead, or at least send a queen over to your third with just 2 Lings at a time. He was like, oh, there's Lings at my third. So he clearly just wasn't watching his mini-map, or he lost his sense of where he was in that game. That's not the sort of error you're meant to be making at this level of play. I mean, there's a point where cutting a corner becomes, that's clearly not a conscious decision. He's not like, oh, I'll just let my third get cancelled, because he ended up building a ton of Zerglings right afterwards. It's okay. I mean, it's not the worst to get that cancelled if you've got some sort of inherent gamble where you're like, let's hope he just comes to the natural and let's also drone really hard. But he didn't. He panicked when those Lings rocked up, which shows this was not planned. This is clearly an error. Cutting a corner, it means we've got intention, right? It means the player means to cut a corner at a certain point. Losing that third hatch is just, that's falling down the stairs. And that's happened a few times in this series. The upgrade, the Zergling all-in where he wanted to mine down the patch, he saw the Zergling come around from Serral. Let's be real, it was a huge gamble. I understand him choking up on World of Sleepers and trying to hide the all-in. I don't agree with it. I think it was the wrong call, but I understand why that one happened, where he's like, I'm all in. I can't give him the foretelling of this. I've got to not mine down the minerals. And I'm okay with that part of the decision. What I'm not okay with is then him waiting another minute and a half until he can try to mine the minerals down without Serral noticing. Serral still saw it. He waited a minute and a half longer than his Ling speed was finished, then goes across the map, and Serral knew the entire time. So these are mistakes that don't make sense. They are horrendous mistakes on the part of Reynor. And I'm saying that not from my point of view. If me or you made these mistakes, if any 6K Zerg made these mistakes, I wouldn't blink an eye. I wouldn't bat an eyelid. I'd be like, yeah, it's standard, whatevs. But with Serral and Reynor, we're used to seeing a different level of play. So Reynor here, just giving Serral a little bit too much of an edge in this series. This time, both players sitting back, playing nice and safe. Reynor's the first one to scout. He's going to come in with this Zergling. Doesn't see too much, just a fast Evo, a Bane Nest. Both players playing mirror build orders right here. Serral's going to come in. And of course, Serral's Ling survives longer because it's a Serral Zergling. For those who don't know, Serral Zerglings are on Adderall. And steroids and... I don't know. They got this shit that... They've got this shit that... What's the cyclist guy's name? That guy. The guy who took like every steroid. They've got that shit. Guy was like, yeah, took all the drugs. And what was his name? I don't know why I'm having a mental blank on this. Armstrong, that's it. I'm like, it's the same name as the guy who went on the moon, right? Lance Armstrong. Okay, that one, Lance Armstrong drugs don't save you from a baneling to the face, apparently. 52 drones for Reynor, 49 for Serral. Reynor's been a little bit greedy. I like this. He's got a small advantage. He doesn't have any banelings though. Oh, he's been a little bit of a greedy boy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's got a queen there. And he can afford to lose a few drones. That's all right. Roach Warren now finishes up. Roach speed kicking in. Lair's a little later for Reynor. He's been mining with a few more workers. Goes for his Overlord speed. Now, at this point, Serral does have faster +1 in Roach speed. Is he going to go 6 gases is what I'm wondering as well. So normally you'd make an Overseer straight away and you'd confirm, hey, mineral count, either with that or with Zerglings. And you want to check, does that gas ever get taken? Because Reynor's up on 65, 67 workers. He's looking like he wants to go straight to 4 base. He's even queuing up more workers right now. So he's going on the greedier end, but his scouting's being denied. Look at that, Queen gets shut down as well. Ooh, Reynor's not getting any info right now, and Serral drops a Nidus Worm. Serral's like, shut down your scouting, let's go. Serral sees a 4th hatchery go down as well. I think it was when he saw that drone coming down, he's like, you know what? Oh, he might have even pre-planned this, because he's on 55 drones. He may have just pre-planned to do a +1 Roach speed Nidus Worm. Now he's adding the 6th gas, because when you make Ravages, you know, you are going to need that. He's going to push across with Roach speed and +1. A real tight timing attack. He's going to attack with that. He's getting the cancel on the 4th in the meantime. And he's going to use a Nidus to reinforce. And Overseer's getting position, so he can Nidus in the main. But I think he might just start with a reinforcing Nidus at the front there or there. Right now, we've got 64 drones here for Reynor. He's up about 12 workers. He's been a bit of a greedy boy. He does know this is coming. Does he have enough roaches? He's going to go out to intercept this. He's going to try and get the Nidus Worm. I don't know if that's the right call. Sorry, I'm putting tabs on the screen accidentally. Oh, the Ling wraparound. Reynor wanting to shut down the Nidus, but I mean, this was a big mistake. This was a big mistake. He gave up defender's advantage. He went out there pre-Roach speed finishing away from his spine crawlers, which he could have kept up otherwise potentially. And now he's pulling drones, but it's too late. He's lost all of his damage output. He's lost 15 roaches. Oh, a huge misstep. Reynor, I mean, I understand the urge to get out there, but he misjudged the numbers. Serral actually had roughly equal roach count to him. Reynor was not able to shut that Nidus Worm down. And a Ling's coming in from behind, kind of locking him into that decision as well, made things really nasty. And yeah, Nidus in the main as well. 5 roaches versus 4. Looks like Reynor is struggling. And if this spine and roaches go down, he's in trouble. A lot of drones starting to fall in that main base as well. Another Nidus going up there. The roaches overwhelming at the 3rd. The spine's gone. A bunch more roaches here. And look at that. He's even shift clicking the drones down. 9 more workers have fallen there. And Serral, with a tight timing attack, just gets the overwhelm. And this one was not nearly as disastrous for Reynor as those previous games, decision-making wise. But look at how well Serral hid this. So this is a lot more of Serral kind of hitting a winner, so to speak, right? So Reynor is just defending. And at some point, he's going to go, wait, I got to check what's going on. So he's going to send some Lings across. But one gets trapped there. This one gets really weak. The Queen comes out. And Serral was already massing roaches, so he was already planning to do this. And why would he plan to do this, guys? Why? Because Reynor keeps going upgraded Zerglings into Mutas. I asked Serral after this series, I was like, dude, so you're a cheesy Nidus player now. You just Nidus every game. And I was obviously joking, and Serral just looked at me and he's like, how else? He's just like, how else are you gonna beat Mutalisks? He's like, you need Nidus to stop them going Mutas. And I asked him about the Corruptors, and as I said earlier in the series, he was like, yeah, if you see the Spire fast enough. And then I was like, wait, you're going Nidus to counter Mutas? And I was like, he wasn't even going Mutas in this last game, or half the games. He wasn't going, and you were still going for the Nidus. And he's like, well, yeah, if you want to do this Nidus attack, you need to commit to it ahead of time. He's like, you need to be going for the Nidus before you can possibly scout the Spire. You need to already be committing to it. So this was a pre-planned timing attack from Serral. Yeah, 55 drones, 5 gas, adds the 6th gas behind it. Actually, no, that was a fake. That was a fake for the Overseer. I always go for that 6th gas. I was really surprised that he went for it, because I was like, oh, normally pros are tighter on their economy and they don't need to do that. For me, I like to make some Ravages with it as well, which is why I get that 6th gas early. But look, he saw the Overseer coming in, so he takes the gas. Because remember what I said? The Overseer is going to scout your work account. And I was saying earlier, it's going to scout for that gas. So he cancels it straight away. Reynor also may have realized with this Overseer, if he was looking really closely, that's not a super saturated base, right? That mineral line looks a little empty, especially on these patches. Look at Reynor's base. Almost fully saturated. It's not a big difference. It's only 2 workers. Easy to miss. Easy to miss, but that's definitely something you pay attention to. Cool thing, is if you come through here and you pay attention. Let's look if Reynor was actually watching it. He was, but he didn't look. He was just looking at the tech, and he sees the Nidus Worm. That's all he needed to know. But another thing you could tell is, oh, is my opponent being super aggressive or something? Is obviously at this point the roaches have come out. But if he scouted, say, 30 seconds earlier before the roaches pushed out, and you're like, whoa, that's not fully saturated. Whoa, that's not fully saturated. And then this base might also be. So often there's like a cute all in and Heart of the Swarm, which I still do sometimes, where what I'll do is if my opponent's really good at keeping an Overseer, poking it in and out, or Lings to scout my third, I grab a handful of workers from here, and I send them to my third, and I take fake gases. And I'm actually all-inning off like 45 drones, which is basically no economy on the third base. But I've just sent drones there, so when they scout, they go, oh, he's going up to at least 58, probably 66, probably 60, 63, 66 drones. And then they build a lot of drones themselves. They're like, yep. And then you push out with this crazy roach attack. So scouting how many drones your opponent has, it's the number one way of scouting Zerg in general, but especially in Zerg versus Zerg where you can swing across. It's so powerful. And this is just a good attack, guys. Just a classic roach speed +1 attack. Nidus Worm to reinforce. No gas spare for Ravages at all. You're just hitting as hard and fast as you can. And because this is starting with small numbers, Ravages aren't that useful in this fight. You've got like 15 roaches versus 15 roaches, you can just move through. The biles become much more useful when you've got like 50 roaches versus 50 roaches and the screen gets very filled, and suddenly trying to reposition units means moving a lot of other units out of the way just to move around, and it can give up your concave and your position. Whereas roach versus roach in these numbers, these middling small numbers, you can just often be a blob running back and forth and it doesn't matter that much. It's when the fights get really gigantic where the biles get really useful. So is this timing attack to discourage muta play? I mean, that's part of it. It's also just a strong attack to take advantage of a roach player who's being a bit greedy, as we see here from Reynor. Absolutely a good way to take care of someone who's kind of going not super fast mutas, right? Now, this sort of roach Nidus, not necessarily the most powerful if someone's going like 2 base muta, but the sort of 3 base muta off the back of a big economy, off the back of upgraded Zerglings, the way Reynor's doing it, yes, it's a pretty good way of doing it. 4-1 to Serral, guys. GG, well played. The champ stands. The champ is strong. I still think he is the favorite going into BlizzCon after winning GSL versus the world and winning this tournament so decisively. But I think Reynor, we all know he's not quite as consistent as Serral just yet. An unfortunate series for Reynor. He's been a bit hot and cold against Serral recently. It's hard not to be. I'm still amazed that he's going toe-to-toe so often with Serral, because it is hard, man. Serral's a monster. He's so strong. So GG, well played. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. We'll try and cast some more of these series. Sorry to do the finals first. For anyone who doesn't want spoilers, sorry, we've just spoiled it with the first series going up onto YouTube. Probably not going to get around to casting as many of these as I normally do after a big tournament on YouTube. But yeah, appreciate it. I just, I had the conversation with Serral fresh in my head. I had the game somewhat fresh in my head, and I was thinking about Nidus Worms because I'm starting to play that sort of 55 drone Nidus attack a lot more, and I've been practicing it for a few weeks even before WCS 4 because I felt like it's a good way to close the distance on these big maps. It's a good way to take advantage of greedy players, and especially players who aren't scouting properly. For me, a lot of players don't even attempt to scout. In that case, Reynor scouting was denied. There was some tricky stuff like the fake 6th gas. But I've decided to do it just because it's a good way to punish Zergs who are basically playing unsafe, greedy, douchebag Zerg styles. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate the support. Big thank you to everybody who's signed up to the Patreon. We've actually had like 10 different people already join the Patreon. So thank you very much. If you guys do want to go above and beyond, please do click down in the description below. There's a link over to the Patreon. And I really appreciate the support. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Catch you next time. Goodbye and good night.